Dear students, in today's class I will solve a problem relating to capital gain based on deduction under section 54. What is this deduction under section 54? To whom it is available? On sale of which property it is available? Let us understand first. See, deduction under section 54. First of all, applicable only to individual and HUF. This deduction is applicable only to individuals and Hindu undivided family members. Companies, partnership firm, association of persons, to them it is not applicable. It is applicable only to individual and HUF. Then second one, applicable only to sale of residential house. If you have sold residential house, then only it is applicable. For other properties sales, it is not applicable. Residential house should be long term. This deduction under section 54 available only when you have sold a residential house property which is long term. If it is short term, then it is not applicable. So these are the basic conditions to avail deduction under section 54. And let us see the rule of applicability. So first one, a new residential house should be purchased before 1 year or before 1 year of sale or after 2 years of sale. This means after selling that residential house property, you should purchase another house. For purchasing that another house, what time you have? One before 1 year or after 2 years of sales. See, if you have sold your house property on 1/5/2019, before 1 year or after 2 years. Before 1 year means 1/4/2018. After 2 years means 1/5/2021. That means if you have sold property on this day, so before 1 year, from 1/4/2018 to 1/5/2019, you should have purchased another residential house. Or after 2 years, that means if you have sold your property on 1/5/2019, so after 2 years, that means up to 1/5/2021. In these 2 years, you should have purchased another residential house property. For purchasing another house property after selling your existing house property, so in this duration, you should have purchased another residential house property, then only it is available. And next one, a new house should be constructed within 3 years after sales. So rule number 1, it is for purchase of another residential house. Rule number 2, it is for construction. So to avail this deduction, you should have constructed another residential house within 3 years after sales. For example, if you have sold your house property on 1/5/2019, so after the date of sales, within 3 years means up to 1/5/2019 to 1/5/2022. These are 3 years. In these 3 years, you should have constructed another residential house property, then only this deduction is available. Next, deposit should be done in nationalized banks under capital gain scheme. To avail this deduction, you have another option. Option number 1 was purchase of new house. Option number 2 was construction of new house. Option number 3 is deposit should be done in nationalized bank under capital gain scheme. In every national bank there will be capital gain scheme. If you deposit some amount in that capital gain scheme, whatever the amount you have deposited there in capital gain scheme, that will be available for deduction under section 54. These are the three rules. And now let us see how to compute. What is the procedure to compute deduction under section 54? Procedure of computing deduction under section 54. First, capital gain amount or deduction under section 54 amount. In these two, whichever is less. Here First one was capital gain. What is capital gain? So far the procedure we have applied for computing capital gain, the same procedure we have to apply. So when we get capital gain, that should be taken here, that should be compared with deduction under section 54. Deduction under section 54, see, three rules are there. After applying these three rules, whatever the amount we get, that should be taken here. So in these two, capital gain and deduction under section 54, whichever is less, that is available for deduction. For example, capital gain is 2 lakh, deduction under section 54 is 1,50,000. In these two, whichever is less, that means 1,50,000. 1,50,000, that will be available for deduction. This is the rule of deduction under section 54. Repeatedly watch this video, so you will understand deduction under section 54 very easily. So based on this, let us solve a problem. Right now the problem I am solving, that is asked in 2018 question paper. See, dear students, see, Mr. Ramesh has transferred the following assets during previous year. Mr. Ramesh has sold following assets during the previous year. So those assets are house, shares, self-generated goodwill. Sale proceeds, the amount of sales he has given, date of sale he has given, cost of acquisition he has given, fair market value, it is applicable only to shares, year of acquisition he has given. After that, see, he purchased a new residential house for rupees 1,50,000 on 15/12/2019. The cost inflation index 2001 to, so he has given the cost inflation index values. So here he has given that he has purchased a new residential house for 1,50,000. he has sold one house property here. After selling that one house property, he has purchased another residential house property. So when he has sold a residential house, after selling that residential house, if he has purchased another residential house, then he will be having availability of deduction under section 54, as I have explained you before. Let us solve one by one. First, let us take house. Sale consideration of house 14,96,000 as per this problem. And then next, in this problem there is no cost of sales. I have not taken cost of sales. Directly I am coming to indexed cost of acquisition. Here indexation we have to apply, because we are applying indexation because this residential house is long term. Here year of acquisition is 2011-12. More than 3 years he has used that house, therefore it is long term capital asset. So indexation we are applying. Cost of acquisition was 1,25,000. Here I have taken 1,25,000. that should be multiplied by cost inflation index of previous year, and that should be divided by cost inflation index of year of acquisition. Year of acquisition 11-12. About 11-12 he has given the value, that is 184. After simplifying this, we get 1,96,332. when we deduct this, the remaining amount will be 12,99,668, because in this there is no cost of improvement. So directly we can call it as long-term capital gain or gross long-term capital gain. We are calling it as gross long-term capital gain. Why? Because still we have to apply deduction under section 54, therefore it is gross long-term capital gain. Now deduction under section 54. Deduction under section 54, as per my previous explanation, the procedure I have explained you. First we have to take long-term capital gain, or we have to take deduction under section 54. Deduction under section 54, three types of deductions are available there. One is purchase of residential house, another one is construction of residential house, third one is deposit in capital gain scheme. Here he has purchased, that is what we have to take. So first let us take gross long-term capital gain, that is 12,99,668, that is. And next one is deduction under section 54. for availing deduction under section 54, what he has done, he has purchased a new residential house that is available for deduction. So he has purchased that residential house on 15/12/2019. On which date he has sold? 1/6/2019, right? 6th month he has sold, 12th month he has purchased. That means within 6 months. For purchasing, deduction available before 1 year of sale, after 2 years of sale. So within 2 years of sales he has purchased another residential house, so therefore deduction is available, that is 1,50,000. So in these two, whichever is less, 1,50,000 is less, that's what we have taken. So 12,99,668 minus 1,50,000, so remaining amount will be 11,49,668, that is treated as long-term capital gain. This is about residential house. And another property, that is shares. Shares. First, sale consideration. Sale consideration 11,46,000. 11,46,000 minus indexed cost of acquisition. Here I am applying indexed cost of acquisition. See, year of acquisition is 1970-71. It is long term. Therefore, I am applying indexation. So, cost of acquisition. So here in the year 1970 and 71, there was no cost inflation index. Therefore, we have to make comparison between cost of acquisition and fair market value. In these two, whichever is highest, that should be taken. Cost of acquisition 50,000, fair market value 1 lakh. In these two, whichever is highest, 1 lakh is highest, that should be taken here, 1 lakh, and that should be multiplied by 289. That should be divided by, when we are considering fair market value, the denominator should be the cost inflation index of 2001 and 2, that is 100. After making this calculation, we get 2,89,000. In 11,46,000 we have to deduct 2,89,000, and the balance will be 8,57,000, that will be treated as long-term capital gain. And now third one, self-generated goodwill. About self-generated goodwill, I tell you one thing. Self-generated goodwill means this goodwill is not purchased goodwill. This is created. This is created goodwill by the businesses. Therefore, when this goodwill is not purchased, there will be no value of acquisition. There will be no cost of acquisition. Are you understanding my point? A business has created its own goodwill. It has not purchased. When it has not purchased, that will be having no cost of acquisition. So in the case of self-generated goodwill, we should not consider cost of acquisition, because there will be no cost of acquisition. See here, sale proceedings of self-generated goodwill is 3,42,000, date of sale, and remaining all values are nil, because this is self-generated goodwill. Therefore, here we have to take sale consideration 3,42,000 minus cost of acquisition nil. Why I am taking nil? Because this goodwill is self-generated, not purchased. Therefore, cost of acquisition nil. The balance will be 3,42,000, that will be treated as a capital gain. This is about computing the self-generated goodwill procedure. This is applicable only to self-generated goodwill. In case of self-generated goodwill, there will be no value of cost of acquisition. So I have solved this problem. In case if you have any doubt, you can contact me. You can send some messages, then I will try to clarify your doubts. Thank you.